Here's your wrestling news for May 29th, 2022, and your headlines for today include MJF reportedly no-shows AEW FanFest meet and greet, books flight out of Las Vegas before AEW Double or Nothing. First Owen Hart AEW action figure revealed. Jeff Jarrett working directly under Vince McMahon in new position. Road Dogg says Dexter Lumis was released because of his age. Stephanie McMahon's WWE hiatus blamed on all-or-nothing mentality. Former WWE champion loses big movie role because of John Cena. Raquel Rodriguez's finisher gets name changed for being too vulgar. Clash at the Castle will be WWE's largest non-WrestleMania gate in history, and more. We're starting off with some major news today as MJF reportedly didn't show up at Saturday's meet and greet at AEW Double or Nothing FanFest. According to tweets from Kylie Fuller of Bodyslam.net, security said that MJF wasn't coming to the meet and greet and was not answering his phone. MJF's absence was not planned and no one from the company was able to contact him, according to a report from Mike Johnson of PW Insider. AEW eventually offered fans refunds or exchanges to other available AEW talent. In an update, it was reported that they received confirmation that MJF is physically fine, and their source within AEW told Fightful that they were very unhappy about how it all played out, while another source said that they heard the communication between MJF and AEW management had reached an all-time low. The AEW star has been very vocal about his contract situation, stating that he is a free agent and will sign wherever the money is. Those comments had caused Tony Khan to have a heated discussion with him. MJF is supposed to take on Wardlow in Las Vegas, but it appears that MJF already has a flight out of town. Fightful noted, "A flight for MJF out of Las Vegas across the country was booked for late Saturday night. Whether or not he gets on the plane remains to be seen. We have to reiterate, we are not sure if he's actually getting on the plane, but have confirmed a flight for him has been booked out of Vegas Saturday night." MJF is slated to face Wardlow at Double or Nothing, capping off a feud that they built for months, if not years. It would be a shame to not see that match. AEW is having a bit of an issue with their FanFest. MJF isn't the only AEW star who no-showed the event, as even Samoa Joe gave it a miss. Samoa Joe missing the FanFest was a simple case of miscommunication. There seem to be no similar issues with Samoa Joe and AEW like there are with MJF. We will have to see how this situation turns out. We will have a lot more updates as time goes on in this situation. Stay tuned to Slat Rock Wrestling as we continue monitoring this still developing story. WWE Clash at the Castle will be a historic event in a number of ways. It will be the first major pay-per-view event held in the United Kingdom since SummerSlam 1992. At that time, SummerSlam 1992 shattered WWE's record for the most fans signing up for pre-sale tickets of any event in history, including WrestleMania. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that the September 3rd event at Cardiff's Principality Stadium had strong initial ticket sales. It had just over 40,000 tickets sold in the first week after 30,000 were sold in the pre-sale. Also 10,000 more tickets on the first day to the general public. A full sellout for that stadium would be 69,000. It's nearly 10,000 more than WrestleMania 38 did each night in April. According to reports, WWE management were overjoyed with the sales figures. WWE hiked ticket prices because of the great demand among fans. That is why the gate is so high. Roman Reigns, the current undisputed WWE Universal Champion, is still on the card, and WWE has a potential opponent lined up for him. NXT news next as Dexter Lumis, aka Samuel Shaw, worked in Impact Wrestling and the indie circuit before obtaining a contract with the global behemoth WWE. Lumis and 9 other NXT performers were released by WWE a month ago. WWE head writer Road Dogg recently revealed that Lumis may have been released because of his age. Dogg recently sat down for an exclusive interview with WrestleZone and said, "Sam's a great guy, I'm a huge fan of his. I think what his deal was I think his age. You know what I mean? Like, he's not 40, but he ain't 25 either." Lumis's WWE run lasted for 3 years, where he had significant matches with Roderick Strong and Theory, among others. During his time in NXT, the 38-year-old also created a new persona for himself, earning the moniker Tortured Artist from fans. Raquel Rodriguez was one of the highlights of NXT television. The former NXT Women's Champion was not only called up to the main roster, but decided to change the name of her finisher for a good reason. As seen on this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, Raquel Rodriguez's move was called the Tejana instead of the Chingona Bomb. Unsurprisingly, fans were slightly confused by this sudden change. The finishing move was called the Chingona Bomb last week by the announcers, but it was muted due to a 7-second delay. By the looks of it, the company came to know the meaning of Chingona while they were on the air. To many people, the word Chingona means a badass woman, but the word is also a form of chingar, which means. Naturally, WWE doesn't want something like that being said on live television. We'll have to see how Rodriguez will be booked in the coming weeks. We'll have to see what's next for Raquel, but she'll be doing it with a bit of a PG upgrade. AEW news next. AEW and Jazzwares announced several new AEW action figures during AEW FanFest. The first new set is Unrivaled 13, which includes figures for Jeff Hardy, Danhausen, The Butcher, The Blade, The Bunny, and Matt Hardy. The Unrivaled Series 14 includes Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Chris Statlander, Keith Lee, and Swerve Strickland. The wrestlers announced for the Unmatched Series 6 are Brody Lee, Malachi Black, Ruby Soho, and Santana and Ortiz. It was also announced that there will be an Owen Hart action figure in the Unmatched Series 6, and the figure will be a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. CM Punk, AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa, Hook, Penta El Cero Miedo, Rey Fenix, and Pac were announced for the Unmatched Series 7. Unrivaled Supreme Series 3 will also include the Lucha Brothers. Back to WWE now, as the first installment in the Marine franchise marked the feature film debut of John Cena. However, it's now been revealed that Kurt Angle was slated to play the lead role in the movie. The Olympic gold medalist opened up about missing out on the Marine on his podcast and added that he was offered the role after Steve Austin's WWE exit. The Texas Rattlesnake left the company despite being Vince McMahon's first choice for the job. Kurt Angle was next in line, and he was looking forward to taking a break to film the movie. Much to the former world champion's surprise, Vince McMahon decided to hand over the Marine to John Cena. The Marine was supposed to be my movie. What happened was Stone Cold Steve Austin was told that he was going to do the Marine. Steve left the company, so Vince gave the movie to me. I had it, and they weren't sure when they were going to film it. A year went by, and then Vince came to me and said, "Hey listen, I want to give that Marine movie to John Cena." WWE wanted to position Cena as a future megastar. McMahon felt that featuring the rising talent in a big movie would help legitimize his name in the business. While Kurt Angle wasn't angry with the C-Nation leader, the veteran said he wasn't happy with the WWE boss. "I wasn't mad at John, I was mad at Vince. He just took the movie away from me because this new kid came in and made a huge impact. I made a huge impact too." Kurt Angle losing a spot in the 2006 movie was the beginning of the end of his WWE run, as he departed the company the same year. More on Vince McMahon, as WWE never leaves a bridge burned if there's money to be made. Jeff Jarrett's many departures from Vince McMahon's company saw him return once again, and this time he has an executive role in the company. It was previously reported this week that Double J is back in WWE, and he has a very important role. It was not reported exactly what the WWE Hall of Famer is doing, but it was noted that his new role has something to do with live events. Ringside News asked around about this and were told that Jeff Jarrett was brought back in a role that he had before. His job includes writing the live events, and then he presents those plans to Vince McMahon for approval. It was noted that the process of approving live event creative is the same as for television. Everything in WWE must get Vince McMahon's seal of approval, and Jeff Jarrett is the man assigned to get that green light from Mr. McMahon for live events. This new role in WWE does not mean Jeff Jarrett will return to television. That being said, he's going to be around, so it's not impossible to imagine that he might get a cameo down the line. And we're ending today with Stephanie McMahon. For a long time, she was the chief brand officer of WWE and did her role dutifully. It came as a shock for many people when Stephanie McMahon announced that she will be stepping away from her position as chief brand officer of WWE. It was previously reported that the company plans to bring in a new full-time hire to fill some of her duties. While speaking on the Ariel Helwani show, former WWE superstar Lance Storm talked about Stephanie's hiatus from WWE. He blamed it on an all-or-nothing mentality, which ultimately became too much for her. He said, "I wouldn't be surprised with Steph and Hunter that they're falling victims to the all-or-nothing mentality. And when you're in WWE, man, you're in WWE. It's a 24/7 lifestyle, and I can see where Hunter led that 24/7 lifestyle, and he's got a family he's got to try to, be a part of as well, that he rode that until he almost physically broke. He had the heart issue and had to go, I gotta stop." And maybe stopping and getting away, maybe Steph and him realized that maybe 24/7 at work isn't the best thing for us. And I believe Hunter is coming back and doing more, and maybe Steph decided, Hunter had however long he had off, I don't know what it was, maybe she's like, I need that too. Although WWE hasn't made any official announcement on the length of Stephanie McMahon's time off, Stephanie indicated that the break was for family reasons, so the company will likely let her take as long as she needs. Regardless, we hope she comes back as soon as possible. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.